Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're doing commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican for his purpose.
Literally not true. Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible. I apologize.
Is that correct?
There we go. There's my mic. All right. Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I'm the Recovery Addict. Hope you had a fantastic lunch. I ate some cheese because that's what I was up to making. So, had some cheese sticks. They were delicious. Welcome. Come on in. Take your seat. Please. Everyone move in. There's room for everybody. Welcome. I appreciate you all being here. While I was away, a couple things happened here. We have to thank Coffee and Crime gifted 5 memberships. Kim R gifted a membership, as well as Britta Aller. Congratulations to those who received the memberships. Thank you very much for that generosity. I did notice that 80s Music Man was not one of the recipients, so I don't know what we're going to do to get him back in green. Hopefully that'll happen soon. We do have to say a big shout out to Kim R. Why is my button not working? Okay. Why? Let's do a little homework, shall we? Let's see, what is my IP address of my switcher? That's not it. That's not it either. Okay, here we go. There's our IP address. Okay, ends in a .29. Now we need to confirm GUI here. Sorry, guys. Tech stuff. I need to do this. Let's see. Target IP is .21. Let's see if I can change that to a .29. See if that helps. Save, and still not working. Let's try over here. We are connected. What's my IP address over here? Sorry, guys. Tech stuff. Duty calls. We have to get this fixed. This is matters of utmost urgency. Details. .21. So it should be .21. That's my target. Everything's right. Ports are right. Go figure. I say. The button should work, and it is not working. Maybe a reboot will help. All right, we'll turn it on manually with that button instead. It was that easy, but I wanted this button to work instead of that button. Welcome, Kim R. Congratulations being first in chat again. Repeat offender here. Habitual offender. Technical iterations. Please stand by. Kim, congratulations. You've won chat.
Send someone with more experience.
Mm-hmm. Please do that. That would be great. We need a true professional in here. That's what we need. Kim, you've won many times before, and you've won yet again today. So once again, we're going to award you Send It to You with internet ownership and maintaining everything IP-related worldwide. You're going to handle it just beautifully like you have on previous occasions, and we will add this to your permanent record. Thank you, Kim. Your acceptance is noted in triplicate. We appreciate that. All right, how did the Met work? Okay, it's report time. No, we're not going there. We're not going there. That's not the type of show we're running today. I will tell you, I didn't even get the audio recorded properly. I'm going to try this. I have to clear off a sound effect. Just 1 second. I have to clear off. I think we have to clear off this one, which I love. I love the sound effect.
This police unit is trying to box him in, but instead he just crashes into the tree.
That is a beautiful sound effect. I can't think of anything else to get rid of. Instead of maybe, what's this one? Hang on.
This video.
You explain it to us. We're listening.
I just did. Like, we were playing, and then, like, I thought it was My plan was not to go upstairs and go to sleep. My plan was not to, he'll be up here any minute.
But you willingly went upstairs and went to sleep. No one forced you to go upstairs and get
My
ready
plan
for
wasn't
bed.
also to leave him in the suitcase.
So why didn't you take him out?
Because I went upstairs, and then I fell asleep.
But why didn't you consciously think, he's asking to come out, he can't
I didn't do
breathe.
it intentionally.
Okay, we're going to get rid of Sarah Boone. I'm sorry, Sarah Boone. We're going to get rid of that one. Replace clear. I didn't do it intentionally. We'll have plenty more from Sarah Boone in the near future, I'm sure. Now we're going to go back and record on this one, and we're going to record audio in on that one, this one down. I'm going to mute me for just a second. We get to listen to Judge Boyd really carefully. Just briefly here. I'm going to turn my mic off and record.
With my family, but it didn't go that way.
Yeah. How old are you?
22 years old.
All right. I want you to hear me and hear me clearly. You are looking at going to prison for 10 years. Would you like to go to prison for 10 years? No. Then you had better start doing what's asked of you on probation. Otherwise, you're going to be in prison for 10 years. You know that orange outfit you're wearing? Does it have your name tag?
Okay, it's not working right. Hang on. We're going to stop this one, clear that. We're going to reroute the audio a different way to the roadcaster directly. That's better. Now I'll be able to capture it. Here we go.
Get it?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, somebody else had that on. I don't know if they're washing uniforms at the jail or not. I know they're not using Downy. I know they're just using detergent that says detergent on the box. And if you have an allergic reaction to that, that's on you. Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won, but I mean, the bunch of roaches fighting. They send me video of no ceiling towel. Is that the way you want to live your life?
Of course not.
I have students that I teach in college. I always take them to a tour of the jail because I tell them if you want to be a defense attorney or prosecutor, you need to know where you're sending people. So we always go to the jail. They're astounded. I know that when you're at the jail and you need bathroom tissue to use, you have to ask for it. If they tell you 2 squares, like from Seinfeld, where Elaine was like, all I need is a square. That's all they give you, a square. And it's the same thing for the ladies. 2 squares, here you go. Me, I prefer the mint method where you just, that doesn't happen at the jail. So here's the thing. I'm going to deny the motion and you are to have no.
Okay, so we have that audio recorded. I will take that and export that, chop it down. We'll have that new sound effect. I saw someone sent me a video, 2 roaches fighting. I don't know who won. We're gonna have that sound effect. That's gonna be one. The MIT method. The problem with the MIT method sound effect is that she uses the hand motion to describe the MIT method, and you can't just have the sound without the rapping motion. I might have to have like a little video clip of her saying, "I prefer the MIT method" with the video. We'll see what we have to do there. All right. So MIT method, please, says Red Pen. Need to change my audio around so everything will work the way it's supposed to. There we go. Back in order. I don't need this cable anymore, so I'm just going to unplug it and throw it over there because that's where we store cables. It's right down there. All right. Where are we at? Who doesn't love a good cockroach fight? Says it's just me. It fits for this channel. It really does fit. Can you turn that clip into a short? I missed it. I can try. I can try. It's it was on the live stream earlier, right just before lunch. What about the 2 square method? I'm also not going to report on using 1 or 2 squares. Those are things you're not going to hear from me. Now Laura's like, now I get the MIT method. Now it makes sense. Let's see. You could do some Foley work and create the sound of paper being wrapped around. Could do that. I imagine Phil, Tayo Toys, is probably already all over this. All right. As we get started here this morning, let's see, where did my live stream go? It should be right there. There we go. As we get started here this afternoon, we are still sort of between cases. We don't have a lot of urgent cases going on. Why does that button not work? This is frustrating. I have to manually click this button instead. I was looking at a case I wanted to show you. Well, thanks, maybe later, right here. Let's see, who was this? This is 294th. See if I can get 294th up here on the screen. This is a new one that I just saw pop up. All right, I think I've got it here. Just one second. Where is that? .294th Federal, 2nd District. Of course, it's not showing up. We've got a million other channels that are showing up, but not the one we want. Because it put a fraction in there. I did not order a fraction. $2.94 District Court. There we go. There we go. And right here, this one's live. Okay, so this is the one we're going to keep an eye on. They just barely went live, 294th District Court, and we have not seen this one before. But it looks something like this right here, and it looks beautiful. A nice, well-lit courtroom. I like the high ceilings. I like the chandelier style, the hanging lights. In God We Trust on the back. It seems like a good old-fashioned courtroom. Great chairs, and they went live. So this happened just over lunch. So maybe something is happening soon. We'll keep an eye on that one. But for now, we'll keep that on the back burner, and we'll see if we can jump to another courtroom. As we are in the doldrums of trials. I think I use that correctly. As I try to use a new word every day, and I think 50% of the time I use them incorrectly or pronounce it incorrectly. So you guys will let me know if I did that today. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Where are we? I apologize. I need to go back and see what you guys are saying because I can't find your words. There they are. There are your words. We found it. Have you seen the judge being attacked video? Judy, we saw that this morning. That is, first of all, it's alarming. It's crazy. I watched that again. I watched on the break. I was over on Kurt's live streams. He was talking about that and sort of giving a play-by-play. It's got hard audio. He listened to the whole clip, and it's very difficult to hear. That's why I did not play it. But he has that whole clip, and it the defendant has an opportunity to speak to the judge before he's sentenced. And he basically tells what a good person he is and why he does not deserve to go back to prison and how he's constantly trying to do better and improve and how he's a different person he was before. And he's, that was then, this is now, I'm a new me. 10 seconds later, he's high jumping the bar in front of the judge and going for the stranglehold. Wow. Just wow. The court clerk deserves a massive raise. He jumped into action quick. He did. Have you seen the injury the bailiff took? The bailiff, and I'm talking about the bailiff who was sort of behind it in the aisleway of that video. He was just back there right as the jump occurred, and he took a huge gouge out of his scalp, massive. It'll need. I'd put 20 or so stitches in there. I'm thinking a minimum to sew that one back together, or maybe just a little super glue and some tape, and it should be good. Court reporter deserves an award. Yes, he also needs to get some classes on punching, because I think he could have been more effective. It was his bravery, 10 out of 10. Reaction time, 10 out of 10. His willingness to jump in there and put his own life on the line, 10 out of 10. But when it came to inflicting damage, to inflicting pain to get the assailant to stop attacking the judge, I would put him around a 3. He was going initially for some like kidney punches, but they were more like love taps. I mean, it was like there wasn't anything behind the punch. So if we can give him some free classes there, the next assailant is going to regret it for sure. Rebecca says, great morning from Melbourne. Rebecca, by the way, thank you for your huge donation overnight. I saw that as it came in. From Melbourne, 6:30 a.m. here, now off to work. We'll have to watch a stream and the 4-hour stream later. OMG, so much fun. Hugs. Thank you very much, Rebecca. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here with us. Is Judge Simpson's stream now under a no rebroadcasting rule? That is what he has on his stream now. I don't know. Maybe we can talk to him and see if he'll give us an exception. Heard one of the officers dislocated his shoulder. Yes, in the hospital. The judge is under observation, I think. Probably more shook up than actually injured. DMB says, what? I thought the clerk was wailing pretty hard. I don't know. From my angle, I didn't see that. Mike W says, on the courtroom attack, would a UK-style dock not be more appropriate to stop these courtroom attacks? There are many things you could do structurally in a courtroom to make that either much more difficult for a defendant to attack a judge or an attorney or something like that. Say, for instance, we could go with a Russian style, which basically has a little jail cell in the courtroom, and you sit behind bars, and that's where you are. And the accused sit locked up in court, and nothing can happen. So there are things you can do, but that's really not the American way. We have this strong belief that you're innocent until proven guilty, unless proven guilty. Sorry, Matthew. Innocent unless proven guilty, and many courts, as soon as you are proven guilty or the judge rules that you are guilty, you get locked up immediately. The bailiff's standing right behind. She says guilty. He says click, and the cuffs go on. In this case, the cuffs were not immediate. The bailiff was nearby. There was not as much as far as security as one might anticipate there would be in a case with a violent offender. But flip the switch. I have to flip the switch back on so your words get on the screen. I will do that. Just watched Judge Simpson. Love Judge Simpson. Amazing judge, but now he's a do not use guy. So we'll see. Let's see. So Mike W, thank you for your question and for your 3 months of support as well. I'm seeing now, I'm finally getting down to all the chat where you guys are saying the words are not on the screen. Please put them on. Rebecca, thank you. If that was on the screen, I appreciate the super chat. And thank you also for the donation that came through on the PayPal side. Let's see. It's always fun when Recovery Addict tries to use words. Hey, I have great people in chat. I have English professionals like Red Pen that can help me and set me straight. So if I use it wrong, it's like a lesson that I'll hopefully never repeat again. I'll learn it and do better next time. All right. 2 people are arrested for missing couple. Drug deal gone bad. It said, Chris. Yes, I've seen that. That's a sad one. I think the case that goes there, it's going to be a while out. I think we'll have an arraignment right away. But if this is a trial, it's going to be minimum, I would say 60 to 90 days. If they go a speedy trial, if they say, if they plead, it could be, any time. But we'll see what happens here. Okay, we've got something happening in this court here. He just went away. We just barely had a face pop up via Zoom. I want to see what happens there. I'm oddly curious. I will keep an eye on that for sure. Russians know how to treat criminals. Yeah, but they treat everyone. Ivan, I'm just saying. In my view, they treat everyone as if they are a criminal before they've been convicted. And that's something that just rubs the whole American the American legal system back the wrong way. It's we have this very strong belief that someone is innocent unless proven guilty. I mean, they might be guilty. They might be guilty, but unless we can prove it, they are innocent. And we err on that side of caution that better a guilty man goes free than someone who's not guilty gets condemned. And I just can't see how we can change the court system dramatically like that. I mean, I'm talking across the board, so that every judge would be, protected behind glass walls. Let's see. Come on. So we're getting something. It looks like we're going to have maybe some first appearances up here. There's the judge. Okay, I have not watched this one, so I'm hoping this is a good court. We're just jumping in here.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, let's call this afternoon's docket. Who's ready?
I believe Mr. Adams is ready with Mr. Copeland.
All right, Mr. Adams, Mr. Copeland, you will step up, please.
I'm not seeing any bailiffs here.
All right, this is cause number CR23-93, State versus Rusty Wayne Copeland. Mr. Copeland, if you'll raise your right hand, I'm going to place you under oath. Sir, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks for your lawyer. All right, Mr. Copeland, you're before the court today to enter into a plea agreement. You're represented by your attorney, Mr. Mitch Adams. Are you pleased with Mr. Adams and the representation he's given to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like you've had enough time to talk with him about all of your cases. There's other cases that he represents you on other than this one. I think he's been representing you for quite some time now. Do you feel like you've had enough time to talk with Mr. Adams about all of your cases and the plea agreement today? You understand everything that you're agreeing to and signing today. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
And I've already asked you the other questions, Mr. Copeland. I believe I already know the answers. You've never been diagnosed with a mental condition, correct?
No, sir.
And you are a United States citizen who does read, write, and speak English, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Adams, I'm assuming that you spent quite a lot of time, actually, with Mr. Copeland, going over all of his cases. And I guess regarding the plea agreement today, do you believe that Mr. Copeland is competent to enter into that plea agreement, that he is waiving his rights contained therein, and he's doing all of that intentionally, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Copeland and I have got to know each other pretty well, and he's competent.
Okay. All right. I see that the plea agreement in this cause is that Mr. Copeland would be pleading guilty to prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility. That is a second-degree felony, which does carry a range of punishment, not less than 2 years in prison or more than 20 years in prison, and a possible fine not to exceed $10,000. Looks like the plea agreement is that the state recommends to the court that his punishment be assessed at 12 years confinement in TDC. The state is agreeing to abandon the second enhancement paragraph as part of this plea agreement. And the state is also asking the court to take into consideration and dismiss the assault, looks like assault or
It was assault by impeding breathing or circulation, third-degree felony, Your Honor.
says here. It says assault, intent, breathing, circulation. Anyway, so the impeding breath or circulation cause for CR22-7. And I guess Mr. Copeland would be pleading true to the enhancement paragraph 1 in the indictment. In addition, he would be responsible for his court costs, reimbursement fees, and also he would receive 303 days of credit towards the sentence for time that he's already spent in jail on this cause. Is that the correct plea agreement, Mr. Adams?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Copeland, that's what you understand as well?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Copeland, understanding the range of punishment, understanding the plea agreement, at this time I would ask you, how do you plead to prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility?
We're guilty, sir.
Are you pleading guilty to that crime because you are guilty of committing that crime and that no one's threatened, forced you, or pressured you to make that decision, correct?
No, sir.
All right, the court will accept Mr. Copeland's plea of guilt to this crime. Mr. Adams, any objection to the stipulation of evidence supporting the plea?
No objection to the stipulation.
All right, then, the court admits the stipulation of evidence, takes judicial notice of the defendant's judicial confession. Is there anything further from the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, and so with regards to the 1245 of the assault, impeding breath or circulation, is there victim compliance with victim notification on that matter? Is the victim supportive of this plea and the resolution of that case?
I'll double check on that now, Your Honor.
I'll double check. Your Honor, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. This is 294th District Court of Van Zant County. Now, where is Van Zant County? There's probably only like 10 of these in the United States.
They're off that way. Your Honor, the victim impact statement was provided to the victim, and it was not returned, so the state is in compliance, Your Honor.
Okay, was that done post the trial, or was that done before the trial? Because I recall the victim coming in person and testifying during the trial, which I believe.
This is just east of Dallas.
Concluded. I don't know if that was a mistrial or what the issue.
Your Honor, it was a separate charge. It ended up in a conviction on a lesser included to a different charge. I don't remember the date of that trial. This was sent out, or the note was entered rather, on February 11th of 2022.
Your Honor. Sorry about that. April the 12th?
Yes, April of last year of 2023, Your Honor. We had a jury trial on assault, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, at which the victim in that case did testify. The jury found Mr. Copeland guilty of a Class A misdemeanor, aggravated or assault causing bodily injury. The court sentenced Mr. Copeland to 1 year in the county jail, a $3,000 fine. That left pending cause number CR-22-7, the assault by impeding circulation. And then in this past, about 6 months ago, back in March, the instant offense to which Mr. Copeland assigned stipulation of evidence was filed or arose.
All right, great. Thank you, Mr. Adams. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Harwell. All right, court. Anything further from the defense, Mr. Adams?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Copeland is being given credit for 303 days towards his sentence in CR 2393. That's leaving a lot of back time for him on the field. He's been actually in custody here since November 19th of 2021. I don't know. I believe it's in the court's discretion to grant him that additional back time. And if the court is inclined to do so, we'd be requesting that the court do so. We have the instant plea agreement in place that we have in not an insignificant reason being the effects that how parole might play out with him being sentenced to the prohibited substance charge versus Mr. Copeland being sentenced and convicted for assault by impeding breathing or circulation. In accepting the plea agreement that Mr. Hartwell had conveyed to us and that we've signed up for here today, Mr. Copeland is in effect ceding more than half of the time that he's been in the Van Zandt County Jail to date.
And the court is very familiar. I've dealt with this issue before. I've reviewed the case law, and the court finds that it is unable to grant any kind of credit time that occurred prior to the commission of the offense for which Mr. Copeland is pleading guilty. The court is sentencing him on.
You can't serve time before you do the crime.
To grant Mr. Copeland any credit for any time served prior to the date of offense, which is March 7th, 2023. Even if the court did so, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, through its Board of Pardon Rules, would return the case and ask the court for a non-pro-tum, citing that credit cannot be given. Credit cannot be earned nor given if Mr. Copeland had not committed the offense at that time. So I've had that issue occur several times. I know that the law does not allow it. Anything further on that, Mr. Adams?
I just want to ask you about that other. Is there any way possible that I could get anything towards my fines on the charge that I went to court on? There was like 7 months I got a year, and there was 7 months still leaking or backing on the bill. Is there any way that I could get credit towards my fines and fees on that case?
It looks like the only fees you have are court costs of $290 and reimbursement fees of $20. I don't see any fines. Are you referring?
I think what Mr. Copeland is referring to, Your Honor, is in the case for which we had the jury trial, and he was found guilty of the lesser included offense. The court assessed a $3,000 fine in that case and 1 year in the county jail. Mr. Copeland had 17 months time already. I think he's asking if that the remainder of the 7 months could in any way, shape, or form be used to cut down or cut into the fine amount that he was assessed in the other case.
Time in lieu of
Thank you.
payment.
Okay, I appreciate that clarification. Yes, Mr. Copeland, I will grant you relief that you've requested on your fines and fees on that other case. And so I will make that, I will sign an order reflecting that and have that sent out to the jail before you go to Tennessee.
Keys?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Do y'all have your keys?
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Hartwell, anything else from the state?
Your Honor, could we borrow your keys, please?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Everybody has beards here.
All right, then, based on the evidence before the court finds that there is sufficient evidence to convict Mr. Copeland of the offense of prohibited substance or item in the correctional facility. The court hereby follows the plea agreement, convicts Mr. Copeland of that offense, a second-degree felony, assesses his punishment today at 12 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. Let me back up for just a second here, because Mr. Copeland, I failed to ask you a very important question. The state has alleged in its indictment multiple paragraphs, enhancement paragraphs, increasing the punishment in this matter. They're abandoning their second paragraph, but their first paragraph is remaining. I do have to know and ask you, how do you plead to enhancement paragraph number 1? Is what's contained in that paragraph true or not true?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. All right. And no one's threatened, forced, or pressured you to plead true to that enhancement?
No.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Then the court will accept that plea of true and finds that that plea of true is freely and voluntarily given. So with that being said, the court does assess the sentence today pursuant to the plea agreement at 12 years confinement. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice court finds that the state has abandoned the second enhancement paragraph of the indictment. The court finds enhancement paragraph 1 to be true. And the court does dismiss under section 1245 of the Texas Penal Code, cause number CR22-7, the beating, assault and beating, breath or circulation, a third-degree felony. The court does not assess a fine in this matter, does assess court costs of $290, reimbursement fees of $20, and awards Mr. Copeland total jail time credit of 303 days for the time he spent in jail on this cause. And Mr. Copeland, while it won't be reflected in this paperwork, the court will grant you relief in the previous conviction, which you served time on the assault. The court will grant the relief of your time served and there against your fines, court costs.
I found it.
And I'll issue a separate order, as I mentioned before. It's not reflected in this paperwork, but I'll get you some additional paperwork out there that reflects that payment. All right, Mr. Copeland, you're hereby remanded to the custody of the sheriff, so he can carry out the terms and conditions of the sentence. Step over the deputy, quick fingerprint. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, I think that's all I have on your docket this afternoon. I'll be excused before something happens.
Yes, before something happens. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. House.
Thank you, Judge.
We're ready with Mr. Wood.
Right.
Mr. Woods, step on down. Better have a good beard. Everyone before you had a fantastic
this
beard.
Is cause number CR21-360, State versus Leighton Kane House on a motion to revoke, motion to adjudicate. Go ahead, Mr. Wood.
No beard.
Good afternoon, Judge. I've been in communication with both the state and the probation department, and it's, I think, in the agreement of everybody to, the state's going to essentially withdraw the motion against Mr. House, keep him on probation, Your Honor. I've talked to the probation department. they would like to, and as Mr. House has agreed to, and already signed amendments to put him on 6 months ISP, where he'll be reporting once a week to the probation department. In addition to that, he'll be going to counseling sessions through the probation department, also once a week for 6 months. And so I think it's the right outcome, and I think it's the appropriate way to dispose of this, Your Honor.
Okay. State. See the state. It's probation department there.
Probation department is here, Your Honor.
And is it Ms. Burns?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Burns, is that your understanding and your recommendation to the court on Mr. House?
Yes, sir.
Withdraw the motion and keep Mr. House on. Is there any extension or amendments other than ISB and counseling?
All right, no, sir, that's it.
Okay. I don't think I have any paperwork to reflect any of that. So
why does the judge have the worst microphone in this court?
And Your Honor, I don't think a motion. Sorry to interrupt. I don't believe a motion's been filed yet. I believe this is a very recent development.
Your Honor, the motion was just presented to me, and I just signed it, so I think it's forthcoming.
And when you say motion, what do you mean?
To motion to withdraw. The motion to revoke.
What's a motion again? This is the judge. What's a motion again? Can somebody remind me?
All right.
It's been a long time since law school.
The court will grant, once it is presented to the court, the state's motion to withdraw, the motion to revoke. The court will amend the conditions of community supervision for Mr. House to include reporting on the intensive supervision program, and will also amend the counseling requirements as agreed and reflected in the agreement between the state and the defense. Mrs. Burns, is there any additional monetary amendments for arrest, warrant, or anything like that?
No, sir.
Great. All right, Mr. House.
Good luck to you.
I haven't really dug into your case. I haven't even really looked at your case to see what your violations are. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to allow Mr. Wood and the state and the probation department to do their agreement. I'm going to approve it. But you've only got so many opportunities to come before me. And so the next time I will be digging. And if there's any more violations, if you're back in a jumpsuit in front of me, don't be asking to get back on probation, because it's not going to happen. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So he gets out on probation. Gets
all right, good to see you
reinstated.
too.
Judge says, I don't know what you did or why, but the state says they're willing to let you out on probation. But don't come back here in a jumpsuit. I don't want to see you arrested again.
That is insulting.
It's a nice tie. A little out. Is it Mario on the tie?
Good afternoon, Mr. Schmidt.
Hello, Judge.
This is a rare appearance on a Thursday. Feel special.
Yeah, well, me too. You canceled my Tuesday.
I was trying to do you a favor.
I appreciate it.
On January 2nd.
I'm not complaining too much.
Mr. Krill, you'll come forward. This is cause number CR 23-158. Understanding that we have a plea agreement today. Is that correct, Mr. Schmidt?
That is correct, Judge.
All right. I do have the paperwork here. Mr. Krill, if you'll raise your right hand, I'm going to place you under oath. Sir, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. You can lower your hand. Mr. Krill, are you a United States citizen who reads, writes, and speaks English?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental condition?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me about that?
Bipolar 1. I went to Terrell State a couple times.
Has that been recent or has that been in the past?
Once in 21 and once in 22.
So pretty recent. Are you currently on medication or undergoing treatment for those mental health issues? Do you feel like in any way today those mental health issues are impeding your ability to understand what's going on in this proceeding?
No, sir.
In this case, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Richard Schmidt. Are you pleased with Mr. Schmidt and the work he's done for you?
Yes, sir.
Feel like you've had enough time to talk with him about your case. You understand all of your legal options and your legal rights. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Schmidt, do you believe Mr. Krill to be competent? And if so, that he's entering into this plea intentionally, knowingly, and voluntarily?
I do believe he is legally competent. I do believe he understands what's going on and is proceeding voluntarily.
Mr. Krill, you are indicted with a second-degree felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon that does have a range of punishment of not less than 2 years in prison.
That's the crime of the day.
A maximum 20 years in prison if you were to be convicted and sentenced. I see that the plea agreement in this case is that you would plead guilty to that crime. The state would be recommending that the court review the evidence but not convict you, defer a finding of guilt, place you on 3 years of community supervision, order you to pay a $500 fine, $290 in court costs, $585 in reimbursement fees, that you would be placed on the mental health caseload within the community supervision department, and that the state would be dismissing, looks like 3 unfiled cases regarding criminal trespass, obstruction or retaliation, and also violation of a bond or protective order. Is that your understanding of the plea agreement, Mr. Krill?
Judge, if I may, I do know that Mr. Krill brought up to me that he believed that there was a misdemeanor charge or an additional charge that he was that was pending or unfiled or unindicted that did not make it to the list of cases to be 1245. So while we're talking about it, I don't believe that to be the case. But if the DA's office would double check to make sure that the offenses listed under the plea section are all inclusive of his business. Other than that, I apologize for interrupting, but allow him to answer the question.
Yes, sir.
I'll give this Mr. Hartwell. Are you going to be researching that?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm looking at it now. The current cases that we have pending are this case, the violation of bond protective order, a criminal trespass, and the obstruction or retaliation. Those are the only cases we have with Mr. Krill that have not otherwise been resolved.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mr. Schmidt, does Mr. Krill have some kind of indication of some other charge that's not reflected here? What is it based on?
Judge, I think it was based on earlier communications when he was first released on these charges. I had some communication with the DA's office. There was confusion about whether it was a misdemeanor. I think that the criminal trespass might have been confused as a theft. So that's what we were talking back and forth. I wasn't aware of any other cases, and I've been following his bookend, but he was concerned that there might be, so I wanted to make sure that it was cleared up and that this would resolve all his business.
And Your Honor, I might also, I'm sorry, be able to shed some light. The obstruction or retaliation was originally filed as a terroristic threat. And until we reached this agreement, after looking at it, we had actually changed that charge. So that may be that additional misdemeanor was a misdemeanor terroristic threat that we then, until we reached this resolution, had changed the charge. So that could be the additional misdemeanor.
And that makes sense to me, Judge. Ultimately, the point is that if we proceed, or well, when we proceed, he pleads guilty to the indicted charge, that he'll be going on probation for that charge, and all of his other outstanding business will be resolved. So, you know, he's clear that there's nothing hanging out there that other than what he is pleading guilty to.
Very well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. And Mr. Schmidt, have you explained to Mr. Krill the advantages and disadvantages of a deferred adjudication plea?
I have, Judge.
Do you believe he understands that?
I believe he understands it.
All right. So, Mr. Krill, before we go any further, I'm going to give you a double dose, knowing that Mr. Schmidt has done a fine job of explaining to you your rights. And according to this case, I want to talk about the deferred adjudication. All right. And as Mr. Schmidt's already explained to you, you do understand that if you were placed on community supervision and violate any term or condition of your community supervision, you're not going to have a right to a trial anymore on the issue of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That's being dealt with today. Any hearing that you have regarding this case in the future is going to hinge on whether you violated any terms or conditions of your community supervision. You understand that?
Sir.
And the hearing you have will not be in front of a jury. It's going to be in front of me.
Yes, sir.
And as I look through here and I see a multitude of cases that a violation of bond protective order, criminal trespass, obstruction, or retaliation. I don't know the facts of those cases. I just see the nature of those cases. And so I'm here to admonish you, which means it's a legal warning that any type of violation of any condition, but especially a condition related to victim safety. I'm assuming that, I don't know if the victim in this aggravated assault deadly weapon case is the same that's in these underlying cases or not. Mr. Schmidt, do you know?
Judge, indeed. The alleged victim is the mother of Mr. Krill. All of the 1245 offenses took place after he was released initially on the initial offense, and there was some confusion about, in his mind, about bond conditions and his living status. So he was invited to go back to that household. He did not realize at the time that it was at least the violation of the bond protective order. Neither he nor the named alleged victim realized that that was a violation. So that's kind of how that spawned. And at the time, we were dealing or attempting to deal with ongoing mental health issues, and hence the requirement that he participate in the mental health caseload, which he is anxious to get started with. He understands he's got his issues, needs to deal with, needs help doing that. So yeah, so that's kind of how that timeline played out.
I appreciate that. That's very helpful. Can you tell me, is there a condition? I don't have the conditions of probation. Is there a similar condition that is going to cause an issue with his residency and placement on probation?
No, sir. I do not see a condition that would be tantamount to what ultimately ended up as a violation of his bond previously. I do know that Mr. Krill intends to submit himself to the Salvation Army, their program in Tyler. I do know also that his transportation back and forth to probation will likely be his mother, who is the named victim here. I don't see any conditions that prohibit that.
All right, thank you. And State, do you have any concerns with that at all? What I don't want to do is set Mr. Krill up for failure if he's going to have a stay away provision against, his residency basically with his mother. Does the state have any position on victim safety or victim concern?
Your Honor, I'm trying to remember. I was looking at it and I didn't see a note for victim contact, but I seem to remember that we did contact the named victim and she was supportive of the plea. I just don't see the note that gives me the details of that.
And I'm sorry. I did talk to Mr. Hartwell, and that was a condition to this agreement that she approved it. So I do know that after we spoke, he did communicate with her. I don't believe that it's Mr. Krill's intention to reside with her after the plea. Just so everybody's clear. But there will be contact.
And we did, Mr. Schmidt and I did speak in depth about the nature of the conditions to try and make sure that Mr. Krill had the best chance of success, and really crafting it so that he would get the resources that he needs to be successful on probation and to not reoffend.
Thank you. Appreciate both of you. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Krill, I just wanted to be clear that's giving me clarity. I wanted to be clear so that you can be clear that any violation of your conditions of community supervision, especially anything related to victim safety or victim concern, the court's going to really focus on that. And that any violation could land you in a hearing back in this court, wherein if the court finds that you violated, the court could do a multitude of things, including convicting you of this offense, revoking you off of that probation, and putting you in prison from that minimum 2 all the way up to 20 years in prison. You do understand that. You understand that that's a risk. You're accepting that risk today.
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. So understanding the range of punishment, understanding the advantages and disadvantages of the deferred adjudication plea. Mr. Krill, how do you plead to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to that crime because you are in fact guilty of committing that crime?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody threatened, forced, or pressured you to plead guilty here today?
No, sir.
All right, the court does accept the defendant's plea of guilt. Mr. Schmidt, any objections to the stipulation of evidence?
I do not have an objection, Judge. I'm not certain if the court has a copy of the state stipulation before you. Okay. I do know that I discussed the stipulation with Mr. Hartwell. The paper stipulation that I have in my hand, we've interlineated by agreement and initialed. Other than that, we've signed off on the state stipulation.
All right, the court finding there is no objection. The court admits the evidence and the stipulation of evidence and takes judicial notice of Mr. Krill's judicial confession. Anything further from the state?
Nothing further from the state, and Mr. Schmidt's correct. We have reached an agreed amendment to the previously written stipulation.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Schmidt, if you can oblige the court and just read the stipulation of evidence into the record.
Yes, sir. On or about July 27, 2022 in Van Zandt County, I, Brandon Krill, was released from Terrell State Hospital, went to my mother's home. While I was there, I got into an argument with her and threatened to kill her with a hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Schmidt.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything further from the defense?
No, sir.
All right, then based on the evidence before the court finds that there is sufficient evidence to convict Mr. Krill of this offense. The court will follow the plea agreement based on the recommendation of the state. Court hereby defers a finding of guilt, places Mr. Krill on 3 years community supervision on the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and second-degree felony, orders him to pay a $500 fine, $290 in court costs, $585 in reimbursement fees. Court orders him as a special condition of community supervision to be placed on a mental health caseload. The court does dismiss under Section 1245 cause unfiled DA numbers 2023-15 in violation of bond and protective order, DA 2023-408 criminal trespass, and DA 2023-409 obstruction or retaliation. Mr. Krill, you're hereby remanded to the custody of the probation department so they can carry out the terms and conditions of the sentence. I'm going to have you step over with the deputy and go get fingerprinted, and then the probation officer will give you some more information.
All right, we're going to make a little jump here because we are court hopping. We're going to jump to a court I've never been to before. This is Washburn County Small Courtroom. Trying to see if we can hear it.
Probation for a period of 2 years. I will do an imposed and stayed sentence of 9 months of incarceration.
You hear that accent?
Consecutive to.
Just from the accent, what state are we in?
Conditions of probation. No alcohol. No illegal drugs, substances, or paraphernalia. No going into any establishment that has the primary purpose for the sale or the service of alcohol. Gainful employment. You must not only participate in, but successfully graduate from sex offender treatment programming, which would include a sex offender evaluation and testing. You must follow all requirements to successfully graduate from the program prior to.
I think it is Wisconsin.
Discharging from probation. You must complete an AODA assessment and all follow through and successfully complete all of the follow through prior to completion of probation. You must have a mental health evaluation and assessment and complete successfully all follow through prior to discharge from probation. You will have regular alcohol and other drug testing by your agent. Regular means at minimum 2 times per week. You will have no contact with the victim or the victim's residence. I will not put any requirements on contact with your son. That's for the family court. I'm not going to say that you can't have contact or a visitation with your son. But you may not have any unsupervised contact with any underage minor, except for your son. Supervised contact means you can go to family events as long as somebody is in the same room with you. You may be in the same room with a minor. You must engage in and successfully complete all programming as directed by your agent. Costs and fees will be $443 per misdemeanor. So that's a total of $886.
I think it's hilarious how all you locals up there don't hear an accent.
As a condition of probation, failing to pay the full costs of the court costs and other fees within the year means you violate your probation. The court is ordering you to provide your DNA to the sheriff's department. I do not believe that this is, well, with the misdemeanors, it would be something that you would be able to write a letter to the Department of Justice to ask your DNA to be expunged. But as it relates to the felony, I believe that you would have to wait until after the 2 years lapses to determine whether or not they will expunge that DNA. You have 20 days to appeal. Should you fail to appeal within 20 days, you do lose that right. You must report to probation immediately upon your release from incarceration and go get probation set up. Are you planning on going to the treatment facility?
Right now, Your Honor, I will be staying with Chuck. He's a chaplain. He's allowed me to have residence at his home.
Do you know his address?
We're going to turn that off. We don't need to know the chaplain's address.
24 hours. Provide that updated address to the court. I have a telephone number of 7437. That's the last four.
It's been a year. I'm pretty sure that the number's probably disconnected.
You have 24 hours to provide updated telephone contact information to the court.
You have 24 hours to get a cell phone. Ready to go.
Report to probation immediately upon your release.
That's like right after, like you said, 24 hours, 48 hours. I didn't know.
You have 24 hours to update the court of your address and telephone number.
Okay. And just to be clear, if he's released tonight, then you're giving him until tomorrow to report.
To probation?
Yes.
If he's released after 4 o'clock, then yes, he can go. He can have until noon tomorrow to report. But if he's released prior to their closing hours, he must report today.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround.
Is there any restitution that's being
You must report
requested?
the same day
Not that I
to
know.
probation.
All right. So no request for restitution hearing?
No, I'm not aware of it.
You must take all medications as prescribed. If you're prescribed medications by your therapist, your psychiatrist, by your doctor, those things, you must take them as prescribed.
Now, we're not going to jump to any conclusions as to what this guy's here for. It could be there's some states where getting drunk and relieving yourself in public will get you this same punishment.
Your probation, the court will enter a civil judgment against you. You're always going to owe it. Plus, the court will issue a warrant and you could sit up to 6 months in jail. Anything that I'm missing from your standpoint?
Just the bond. I would ask.
Oh, that's correct. Yes.
I would ask that the court modify the bond to a $500 signature bond with non-monetary conditions consistent with the rules of supervision or just order.
I have no objection to that.
All right. Court will modify bond. You will still be on bond. It really doesn't matter the amount of the signature bond. That's stupid anyway. I could put $1 million or $500. It's never
stupid
enforced.
anyway. It's never
$500
enforced.
signature
Stupid
bond.
rule. The judge.
Same conditions.
Tell us how you really
Must
feel.
follow all conditions of your judgment of condition and must
I'm sorry.
follow all
I want to
rules
back
of
up on this.
supervision by
This is-
Department of Correction.
This is so good. I want to hear that again. I'm not going to talk over it. Ready? Let's back up just a tiny
One
bit.
question, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And just wait, you must reside with. All right. Court will modify bond. You will still be on bond. It really doesn't matter the amount of the signature bond. That's stupid anyway. I could put $1 million or $500. It's never enforced. $500 signature bond.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just needed a
Same
clean cut of
conditions.
that.
Must
That's
follow
stupid
all
anyway.
conditions of your judgment of condition and must follow all rules of supervision by Department of Correction.
Washburns do make good guitars.
I have one question, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And just wait, you must reside with Chaplain Chuck.
Chaplain Chuck. That's what he goes
unless
by. All his
approved
friends call
by
him
your
that.
agent.
Oh, my question.
Yes.
So I just have a question on the deferred judgment. There's a place here that has a alcohol treatment, but they will not let you in if you are convicted of a sex crime. Is this, will this be?
You're not convicted,
Okay.
you pled guilty. I have not entered judgment.
Okay.
Entering judgment convicts you of that felony. Any other questions?
Sit here.
So you know what you're gonna do after you're released?
Yes, go straight to probation.
All right. Anything else? Any further questions or
Good answer.
anything from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
No, thank you.
Because
All
if I
right,
said,
thank you.
I'm going to head down to the liquor
we
store
are
and we're going to
adjourned.
celebrate, the judge would have had second thoughts.
Thank you.
So probation will let him go, however long it takes, a couple hours to get out. And then he needs to head straight over to probation. Sounds like he has a plan. Sounds like he has a support group. I don't know what his charge was. It sounds like it was something probably very minor, I'm guessing. Very minor. Literally, like possibly getting drunk and relieving himself in public. If I'm ever in court, I'll hold up a sign that says Recovery Addict. Jade. No. Here's what we want to do. We are designing right now a tire. We are designing an item of merchandise that will be available in a wide range of colors and styles. Whether it's a polo shirt or a good-looking,
Can you give me the address and the phone number?
a shirt for women or
Yeah, let me just
you
put
name
that
it.
down here. Hold on.
But it will just have the RA logo. And so it won't be like screaming Recovery Addict in court, because we don't want you to do that. That's judges would not
That's
appreciate
okay.
it. And I would not either. But it would allow you to recognize other recovery addicts in court. So that's what we're working on, and we've got some great designers. I think Mr. Upper Torso right now is tweaking some of the designs that have been submitted right now to try to make them absolutely perfect.
All right, what's the address? Okay, it's W.
We don't need to hear the address. Okay. Got to get that hoodie in the JL Marcus prison catalog, says Ivan.
Wisconsin, 54888. All right, perfect. I've updated that.
Thank you, Mr. Chuck.
Do you need my name or anything? Chaplain Chuck?
Well, there you go.
Well,
that works.
Okay. That's all we got. I just need to know where he'll be, right? That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
very
Yep,
good.
that he must reside with you.
Of course, like we're good with just Chaplain Chuck.
Well,
we don't,
thank you
we
very
don't do
much.
last names around
No
here.
problem.
If I ever screamed in court, it would be to scream Recovery Addict. You guys, this is not a good idea. I mean, if this is your plan, I would say you should make another plan. That won't end well for anybody. We need a secret handshake. We have one whiskey scam baiter, but it's really complicated. We'll have to do like a whole live stream just teaching you what it is. And practice is difficult because of the whole camera thing. But it starts with the typical slap, slap, fist bump, up, down, punch, and then you do like a "I'm too cool for this," and then there's a little bit of a footwork involved. Anyway, I'll teach it to you. We'll get there. Would love a sweatshirt without the hood. I think, Melissa Ann, we're gonna once we get this logo built, I think we're gonna offer it in a couple different styles. Let me go back to our old judge.
Supervised contact with the child, unless the probation department brings it parentheses, but any court order in the custody case denying him access. What does that mean?
Does we take that to mean that the probation department can't give him permission to do something that a court order in the custody case has prohibited him from doing? I've explained that to my client. He understands that if there is a separate court order from a family law case that prohibits him, that even if the probation department gives him permission, he would not be able to have unsupervised contact.
By footwork, I'm just saying there's a couple, it's like a dance step.
Condition of probation. Court also makes a special condition of probation, anger management, and a guarantee clause. Mr. Brennan, you're hereby remanded to the custody of the probation department so they carry out the terms and conditions of the sentence. I'm going to have you step over with the deputy to be fingerprinted, and then the probation officers will give you more information.
The judge has put the microphone for the Zoom feed in an empty Red Bull can.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Wayne.
That's why it sounds like this.
Okay, Ms. Chamberham, I did have a chance to read. I saw Mr. Trainer.
Let's see if we can find another one. Judge Boyd is back.
Oh, okay, we didn't know.
Let's see. Is Mr. Butler?
I can't stand the lack of audio there, so we're gonna bail on that court. It was a nice idea when it lasted, but Judge Boyd maybe is up. Let's see if we can see what she's doing this afternoon. Judge Stephanie Boyd. I've got her on speed dial. There she is. Hello, Judge Boyd. Welcome back to your courtroom. Let's see what's happening here this afternoon. So we've got a couple ideas. You guys want a sweater, a hoodie without the hood, which is just a sweater, right? We're going to do a polo shirt. We're going to do like a V-neck shirt, like a tee, in a variety of colors. So if you've got a specific color that you want, let me know, because those I have to select. Evie says I'd stand up in the courtroom and ask whose birthday it is so we can all sing together like RA. Yeah, the judge and the bailiff, they join right in. I don't see that being a problem. That was my skydiving handshake with my ex-boyfriend, sort of. Every skydiver does one hand slap horizontal. I don't know how else to describe. And then backhand, and then punch like clicking beers. Okay, so yes, that's it. It's we're gonna go full screen on this so you can see. We're gonna keep listening to Judge Boyd. It's like this. It's like a boom, 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 and you do like a top down. So boom, both, and then so slap, slap, top, top. And then there's a punch, and then on the recoil is when you go back and you're like, I'm too cool for this, and then that's when the dance steps come in. And I don't have a foot cam going, thankfully. So we'll have to show that later. But anyway, we'll teach you the whole routine, so we can do it should we ever meet in public. Okay, neon pink, please, and thank you. Purple. Becca, if you type it in chat, it might go on the screen, just so you know. All right, cardigan sweaters for us. Where do I find a cardigan sweater? Is there I need a print-on-demand company that will do a cardigan. And how would we image that? What would we image? How would you put, what's the makeup? Is it a cardigan? Is it like knit? Because that might be difficult to put a logo on. It's more like river dance than square dancing, Jamie. The speed is let's put it this way. It's a square dance move at river dance speed. Does that work? Jazz hands are at the very end, Book Hermit. Yes, we have the jazz hands, and that was a special edition courtesy of J Hatch. It has to be stitched on a cardigan. Okay, so let me just tell you that would, if we find a place that can do this, unfortunately, that is not cheap. JDT says, "Hey, RA, glad you like my jewels design. Let me know if you want some ideas for logo." I do, JDT. Thank you very much. I love that. I think you could make a little business designing people's custom logos that we could put on shirts. And thank you for offering that for Jules. She absolutely loves it as well. Washable tattoo decals, 100% cashmere. Have you guys seen the commercial for the I think it's the California State Fair, where like two California girls are talking to each other and they're talking about some clothes and it's like, oh, it's cashmere, and it's like, oh, is that the is that do you get cashmere from the boy cow or the girl cow? And she's like, it's the one with the, and they're like, oh yeah, the tusks. And she's like, yeah, the tusks. It's a funny commercial. I didn't do it justice, but cashmere from the boy cow with the tusks. Yes, it's two square dance. That way you don't have to touch hands. You don't have to touch hands during the dancing part, but you do sort of bump elbows. That's part of it. Hope that's okay. Can't we just get iron-on patches made? I could. Once we have the logo selected, I can put it on a whole bunch of different products, and then whichever one works best for you, whether it's on a keychain or on a shirt or on a hoodie or something, we could make them all available. I dig the socks. We are in Judge Boyd's court right now. This is Bexar County, Texas. We were with her this morning and had some fun, some interesting things. We had a lot of cases with assault with a deadly weapon. One where there was a murder charge. We had one video that was shown that we got to watch, and it was filmed on a 360-degree camera, which gives you the effect of everything in view of the camera is happening within a little drop of water that you could hold in your hand. It's a funny. I imagine that's what fortune tellers see when they look in the ball. I look and I never see anything, but I imagine that's how they see the world when you have a fortune teller read your fortune to you. It's in that 360-degree view, and they never can tell what's going on. Underwear, says Christy G. We're gonna have the Recovery Addict G-string. I struck that idea down. Just I'll put that out there now. I had a couple texts about that. It's probably not going to happen, Ivan. I know you're disappointed. But I just really, it had to do with real estate and the size of the logo, and there were some complications that way. So that's going to be ruled out. Isn't cashmere from goats? Yes, I believe. I don't know. I probably need to know as well. Oh, it's the silk thongs, says Ivan. I mistakenly, I thought your text said G-string, Ivan. I didn't read it close enough, but I'll look for silk thongs for you. Cashmere's from bunnies. I have to be careful because we're getting close to a story that I think I've almost told once here on before that might be. I have to check the statute of limitations before I tell the story. They can customize rolls of toilet paper, and we could like sneak into public places and stick them in. Yeah, we could have like a QR code on the toilet paper. Yeah. This is like a marketing idea that would really go far. And so we'd have people taking out their cameras in public restrooms to film toilet paper. Yeah, that's not a good idea, actually, on second thought. I just thought through that process, and it's not good. We always get weird near 3 p.m. I just had some Mountain Dew, and I'm exhausted. I am mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausted. I've been up almost continuously since 1:30 this morning, driving my wife to the airport and back. About 4 hours of driving before the live stream, about I think it was about 45-minute nap, and then here we are. So I apologize to anyone who's brand new here. We're normally not like this. It's a very crappy idea, Suzanne. How about offering iron-ons? Let me, cashmere is from goats, I Googled. Let me do some research on that. the two symbols that you guys suggested, Mr. Upper Torso is doing some tweaking on them so that in case we get them embroidered, the narrow lines next to each other would work better. So we're working on that. What do you mean? We're always like this. Weather Watch. I can't wait. Tonight we have a podcast together, my friend. You and me here on this channel, 8 p.m. You get more of this, but I will be more tired at that point. So I'll make my apologies now, and I make no promises for what happens tonight. 8 p.m. Be here. It's going to be fun. The Not Relevant podcast with Thomas and Scott. Back again. Yeah, I was going to do a Shady's back type thing, but is it Friday? We moved it from Friday to Thursday. We didn't want to interfere with Rob with his Friday Night Frenzy, and it seems to work better for our audience, for our group, for our community to have it on a Thursday. I need a nap. I need like a full 12-hour nap is what I need. I'm not sure where the judge went, but there's no audio from the courtroom right now. What are we waiting on with the court? Judge Boyd was on screen just a minute ago. She might have stepped off for a little break or made a call. There are times when she'll like in the middle of a trial, somebody will bring up an accusation like, "Hey, I was in the jail. I was trying to do what you ordered, but the jail said no, they wouldn't do that." And she's like, "Excuse me, I ordered," and she'll hold everything and call the jail. It's like, who do I need to talk to make sure this is happening? So she might be doing something like that right now, or she might just be accepting a new delivery of flowers. Mom of three, juror number one having an interview. What I've seen is that Kurt on Uncivil Law has an interview with juror number one and his wife tonight. So unless he's pulling our leg, I think that's going to be tonight on his channel. And that is a exclusive. I believe they have not spoken. I mean, we've seen them in chat. We know them. They were in chat with us yesterday. But I believe that's the first time they will be on a live stream answering questions. Here's the judge. She's back. Oh, and she brought help.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Judge.
Oh, I can't hear you. Just give me 1 second.
Should I speak louder? Can you hear me now?
All right. Could you say something now?
It's just me.
Yes, Judge. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear, it's just low.
I can talk louder.
Just 1 second. We may have to chat.
Okay, very good. I can change it.
We hear you now.
Okay, great.
Nathan, tell the truth. Were you doing one of those things where your mouth was moving, but you were not saying anything? You were just trying to make us, sort of like.
Caught him. Just kidding.
Judge, I stopped doing that about 7 years ago, I'm proud to say.
All right. So on your client, of course, we can't really Zoom with him in the courtroom. It'd have to be with him at the jail.
Right.
But they did bring him over.
Okay.
Do you want this recalled for next week?
If we could do that, that'd be fantastic, Judge. Daniel and I have opened a line of communication, and I think there's a possibility we could probably get this resolved. So it's my intent that we continue that discussion before she comes back, and maybe we can get this done.
All right. They're going to bring him out. And so what I'll do is I'll recall you for next week.
Okay.
And just 1 second. I can put you down for January 8th, 9th, or 11th.
Let me see. 9th, I'll be out of county. You said 8th, 9th, or 11th?
Yes.
Let's do the 8th.
Okay. All right, Ms. Montemayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorneys by Zoom. We're going to bring you back on January 8th. So that will be Monday. That's the soonest we can bring you back. You understand?
Yes.
All right. And my understanding is that your attorney will be here on the 8th.
Yes.
That's correct. I'll be there.
All right. Do you have any questions about anything?
No.
All right. We'll bring you back on January 8th. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
The attorney blurred his background because he's where? At the gym? Threw on a suit coat, made it look professional. I don't know. He had a conflict of some sort. Let's see. This is the county that double murder happened. Yes, Liz, it is. This is Bexar County. I'm not sure if Judge Boyd is going to be handling that case
Mr.
or not.
Cox?
It's possible that she gets that
How
case.
are our teams going to do next year?
My team has to do better. It can't be worse. We got so better. I think we got to get rid of the coach.
Well, let me ask you this. As do we, our defense is not what it should be. So here's the question. And maybe Jason or some of the other people who watch football can join in. What is worse? Is it worse to go to the playoffs and lose, or to never have gone to the playoffs at all? I say this for the Texas people.
To never have gone.
I'm an Aggie, so it's worse
Yeah.
than lose.
So
Never
go.
Never have the actual chance to be there. Never taste victory.
All right. So here's my next question.
Loving football.
What is worse, losing the way Florida lost to Georgia 63-3,
Oh, Florida.
or having
Florida State.
Florida State, yeah, or either having a close game and losing by, say, a field goal? What is worse?
I think 63-3. But Florida State didn't have
14 people.
Quarterback that had 7 of their starters.
14 people were not there.
Yeah. And they were playing against Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still say, and I know I'm going to pick up a lot of flack for this, Georgia should have been in that playoff, not Alabama. What are we going to do about some have championship games. Other people don't have championships games. And then you go to the championship, you lose, and you're out. What are we going to do about this?
What they're going to do is expand it to 8 teams. And then we'll be going into February, March, and be so much more fun and a lot more gambling for everybody.
But if they expand it, when they expand it to 8 teams, you know what's going to end up happening?
Yeah, maybe.
12 teams.
12 teams.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, Anna, you're bringing something to the conversation. I'm glad you're here in this court. So,
Got a nice little side income with my draft.
She does
when we expand it to 12 teams, number 13 is going to be complaining.
No.
Can't be any complaints.
I think there's a huge difference between say 8 seed to the 13th or 14th. It's a bigger. I think personally 18 should suffice, but you take it to 12, you're going to have some of those number 12 playing number 1, or they have to get. They're going to get annihilated by.
I used to do a fantasy football league with Celeste Ramirez. Celeste is a big Cowboys fan. I'm sort of a Cowboys fan because that's all we would get because of where I grew up. So Celeste would always want to pick Tony Romo as our quarterback. I'm like, absolutely not. And she was like, why not? I said, you pick Witten. Don't pick Tony Romo. I said, now, Witten, he could have 4 players. If I were on the defense, I say just guard Witten, because whatever comes, that's his safety blanket. He gonna throw to him. I said, now, if you want to pick a quarterback, at the time I said Drew Brees, because Drew Brees is just gonna spread the love to everybody. Yeah. I said, but don't pick a wide receiver or anything for the Saints because he's gonna spread the love. I said, so I'll go with putting Witten on our team, but we're not doing Tony Romo.
Nah.
And we ended up being championship. I went out as a champion. And people were doubting us because we were a team of girls. The only guy we had on our team, I think that year, was Dale Harris. And I had to pull him kicking and screaming. I said, we will not. Yeah, I said, we will not take this player.
I quote you on that.
And what did the Ohio State Buckeyes do?
What about Liberty?
That's Liberty. Yeah, see, that's a good example. Yeah. They went 12-0, 13-0, and they got shellacked by who?
What was it? Oregon.
Oregon beat them to.
Beat them down.
Well, see, the problem is sometimes people don't play anybody.
They should beat it. Some people should not be.
For example, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack about this. Notre Dame shouldn't always be there. Just ask our coach.
They get ranked in the top 10 just because of Notre Dame.
Every year.
Yes.
Every year.
Just because of Notre Dame.
And then they lose one game to a high school team, and they're still in the top 10. And then they beat one person. Then they're like, oh, we need to put them here.
But not next year with 12 teams. Yeah.
Is Florida gonna make it? The Gators gonna be there?
We gotta get rid of the coach.
Okay, we're gonna have to move everything
Well,
on
let
the
me ask you
docket
this.
till tomorrow
Would
because this
you
conversation is
trade your coach for our coach?
Yeah, I'll trade my coach for anything.
Yeah, but then you wanted Miles as your coach.
I still like the gambler. I still like
Cornelius would
Coach O. Coach O. I like.
Cornelius will never forget the game where we were playing. LSU went for every fourth down, and Cornelius was texting me. Cornelius said time when he saw when they were waiting for the refs to make a decision, they were doing the replay, and it took, I don't know, an hour for them to come up with a decision.
That was like a 5-hour, 6-hour game.
He said he knew it was over when the female was in the stands praying.
Yeah. They were paying to her and she Melody was playing.
Oh, you doing? It's over with.
That was it. That was the year I think we had 2 losses and won a championship.
Yeah.
Those were the days. But I did write a letter to Brian Kelly about our defense.
Did you?
Oh, I did. I think I need to send it certified because I haven't got a response back.
I'm surprised he didn't send it with a bailiff to deliver it, like a subpoena.
At the end of that Texas game, when the guy, the receiver, I think his name's Whittington, he catches it, he gets out of bounds, and they review it, and they're like, "Whoa, is this a catch or not?" And I don't know what a catch is anymore because there's been so many plays where I'm like, "I don't know, maybe it's not a catch." And then when they call it a catch, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna win!" Or like, "We're gonna win now because they've got 4 shots. You just throw it in the end zone 4 times." I like those odds, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did some weird stuff where they throw it to the running back so he gets out of bounds. I don't know what that, like. I think the coach like overthinks it. You know, he's like, oh, they're gonna like expect me to throw it to the end zone. So I'm gonna do that. I'm like, well, that's crazy. Like you have to throw it to the end zone. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, I was on the plane, and the guy in front of me was watching the Alabama game. I wasn't because I refused to pay for the Wi-Fi or whatever. So all I hear was them like, yeah, no, yeah. I'm like, you guys need to stop that and tell us what's going on. And they were calling timeout after timeout. And then, of course, you know, when they say we're taxing, time when the plane lands, everybody starts grabbing their items. And I'm like, where are you going? We're not even at the gate. Please have a seat. We're trying to hear what's happening on the game.
They called that play where they were just like, look, quarterback, what you need to do is run into all these guys right up in the middle. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Broken play.
The ball was snapped.
I watched the Rose Bowl. I watched the
Is he coming to
Citrus
LSU?
Bowl.
He snapped it.
Lunch is over. I'm not sure what
Jason, I heard we're getting an
schedule.
Aggie. Somebody who had committed, I think, to A&M. They're not coming to LSU. I'm like, you're from Lafayette, Louisiana. Of course you should be coming
You
to
don't want
us.
those players. What you gonna get? Because I think Elko, our new coach, is like a Jimbo Fisher. I like him, but he just more of a. I got $80 million left.
Yeah.
I mean, he got. I mean, it was like Coach O when he left LSU. He's like, "You're gonna pay me what? Not to. Where's the dorm?"
Yeah. Oh, I want to be chopping like. I feel like
trying
Brian.
to figure out how to be like 77.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, that was. I tell you what, it was not the same athletic director, but the athletic director there now at A&M is the one that re-upped that contract and extended it. And I'm like, why are you still here? I'm sorry. I mean, it was the world's worst contract of all time for any coach ever. And I mean, not for the coach. I mean,
Well, no, the only one that could be worse if you were giving it to Lane Kiffin.
oh gosh, well, he's still coaching.
You know what? I like Lane.
Yeah. Would you accept him as your coach?
Ole Miss,
Are
right?
you? But Cornelius was in love with Steve Spurrier.
Yeah.
He's like, can we get Steve back?
In the Gamecocks, he was at Florida, but then
Then he
he
went to
retired
South
with the Gamecocks. Isn't he the one that notoriously said, he goes, "It's not any fun anymore. We're winning all the time."
Yeah.
No, but you know, I like Kiffin is bottom out. However, if he can take Mississippi State,
No, Mississippi.
Ole Miss.
He could take Florida to
Yeah.
But he still wants Miles.
Les Miles.
Yeah, because he
But I
thinks
think-
he thinks it'd be exciting.
I think
If I was sitting in
Maybe
cuffs
another-
on the side of the
another,
courtroom waiting for my turn, I would be frustrated too.
No, I know what you're going to say. And let me just tell you why. This is my issue with Les Miles. Time clock management.
Well,
But he won.
And the team he took to the
won your championship, though.
But no,
Says the
that team he
judge
took to the
who's just
championship was
spent
the
15
team
minutes
that
talking
Nick
about
Saban
football.
put together.
but
Because Nick Saban
but he beat Nick Saban that year.
with his team.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, even though I'm not a big Nick Saban fan, he does take he can take players that are not considered top tier players, and he will get you to the playoffs with them. But Miles, when he was at LSU, clock management was horrible, and I still remember that play where it was 4th down, and he kept telling his quarterback from the sideline to spike the ball, and the quarterback was shaking his head no, because we don't have any more downs. What are you talking about? And he kept saying, no, spike it, spike it. So, of course, the quarterback ends up spiking it because maybe I'm wrong. You're the professional here. And then they have the interview asking Miles what went wrong. He's like, well, sometimes, they're young players. They make mistakes. No, that's all you.
Well, yeah.
And his clock management, I was watching some games when he was there. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Where the clock is ticking down and it's 10 seconds and it's still ticking. Y'all just had a timeout. The play should have already been given to your quarterback. Yeah. It was exciting for other people to watch.
Well, Nick Saban didn't do a very good job of clock management.
If they just had a
Well, you know
timeout,
my problem with Nick Saban
the clock
is
should not have
Nick
started yet.
Saban promised that when he left LSU, he would never coach another team in the SEC. Because you remember, Nick, he left college football to the NFL.
But did he pinky swear?
Yes.
That's right.
And then he said,
came back to the-
and then he comes back with Alabama.
He almost gave it.
He didn't pinky swear though, Judge.
Yeah.
Almost Canadian.
Until they almost but we were on a coach already.
Am I
We were the Big 12 though.
Am I disappointed in Nick Saban? Yes. But if he wanted to come back as LSU coach, would we accept him with open arms? Yes.
Yeah.
And invite him to the family picnic. But you know what? The other thing they don't, what is hard to understand, a quarterback fumble. When they're throwing the ball, nobody knows what's a fumble anymore from the quarterback. Oh, his hand was going forward. No, it wasn't. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think Nick Saban was right though, because I said it. I think it was too.
Hello?
College football now has become the semi-pros.
I wanted to
And
touch
sad
base
that
with
we
you
were doing
because,
that.
hi, this is Lexi calling from Great Vacations. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Lexi. How about yourself?
Good to hear that. I'm doing great. Thank you very much for asking. Sister, I'm calling you in regards to a large amount of travel credit you have on file with us. My job here is to close out all the expired accounts, but when I saw how much credit you had available, I wanted to touch base with you because I didn't feel comfortable closing it out without at least giving you one last opportunity to use this one. Do you see yourself and your family traveling in the future?
Yes, I have a lot of court dates I have to go to, and in several different places. So I need to travel quite a bit.
All right, and that's perfect. Well, Sir Dwayne, can you please stay on the line for a moment? Because I'm going to pull up your full account and we'll go over the full details.
Okay.
Can you please stay on the line with me?
Sure.
Okay. Thank
Good afternoon. This is Stacy. I am the promotional director here with Great Vacations. How are you?
I'm doing great, Stacy. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. I did just jump on this line to further assist. How was my representative? Kind and courteous?
Yes, it was pretty quick. It was hard to hear. It was a little quiet, but I can hear you pretty good.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes, sir. So it looks like you have some travel credit on file with our company. It's been flagged for expiration. We're always going to call before we close these out. Are you still traveling?
I have to do a lot of traveling, but the dates that I'm traveling are very, I can't choose them. The court chooses the dates because unfortunately I did a little bit of a crime spree in a couple places and I have to travel to several states for the different cases. So yes, I'll be traveling.
Are you really that bored?
Excuse
Why
me?
aren't you at work like the rest of America?
No, Stacy. What do you mean?
Why aren't you at work like the rest of America? Don't you have to work? I want a job like yours where I get to just sit home and do nothing with my life.
Okay, Stacy, please don't hang up on me. Let me talk to you just for a minute, okay?
I would never.
Okay, let me
I
talk
would
to you.
never disrespect you that way. I'm not. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Are you at a place where you can, I don't know, get on the internet right now? Like on YouTube?
Sir, I don't. Why would I do anything like that?
Because my name is Scott, and I run a channel called Recovery Addict, and I'm currently at work, and you're with me on my channel live as we're talking. I take calls like yours.
I just celebrated 4 years.
Seriously? Congratulations.
And 23 of 19. That's my sobriety date. I just picked up my 4-year medallion. I run a halfway house.
Stacy, that is awesome. That is really cool. We celebrate people who are, all over on the path to sobriety, and whether it's a day or 10 years. That is awesome. But I actually am hard at work right now. We normally follow court cases.
Okay.
I do travel around the country, but I don't commit the crimes.
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic, like you were on a crying spree or something. I'm like,
that's what I said. That's what I said. But I have to tell you, Stacy, I do get calls like this about 6 times a week from different companies that all say I have a $1,500 travel credit. You know the shtick. You work there, you understand how it works. I realize it's not a full-on scam. I realize there is a travel involved. But we both know that I don't have $1,500 of like unused travel credits that I bought.
Well, what it is what it is if you've either done I'll be honest, you've either done a tour of a major resort,
okay,
or you've had a vacation package in the past. So the credit doesn't mean it's what you spent; it's the value of substantially what was lost. So at the end of the tour, you were given an offer, an opportunity, something you didn't take advantage of. The vacation package that you had, you could have left one on the table, or you have timeshare affiliation. So it's never, it seems to be misleading. It's not the fact that you don't have credit. It's just not the reason why people think it is. They think, oh, I spent this, and that's not what it is. It's the value of what was lost.
Could it have been like if I signed up for like a car that was being given away at the mall and I got on a list? Is it something?
Obviously, it's obviously something. You had to do something travel affiliated. We don't just pull these names out of a hat. They're usually people know exactly the reason why. Okay. And it looks like whatever you did was July 1st of 21.
July 1st of 21. That was like during COVID.
Yes,
nobody was traveling then.
Right, but that was one of our busiest seasons because how we went into it that way. It's not like you're going to buy, you're not buying a winter coat now. You're buying it because you're going to use it and COVID's not going to last. People think that, we didn't, but we did. So, but that's I just be honest. But yeah, I'm a travel agency. We handle things very legitimately here. Like we have a 4-step legal process, things like that. But I'm not going to take, I wasn't being condescending. I'm sorry if I came off that way. I was just like, why, sir? Like, I don't want to work no more than anybody else wants to. Let me do my job.
Stacy, how do we...
I not work this job, but I work at Holderwood. Go ahead.
How do you get a bonus? What do we have to do to get you a bonus? Would we have to buy something?
Yeah, but I wouldn't waste your time. I would rather I do, we work an honest program. If you're not going to use the vacations, then I do. God is good. I'm very well.
He definitely is. I'm blessed far beyond what I deserve. Stacy, I would love it if when you get a chance, jump on YouTube, type in Recovery Addict, find my channel. We're a fun group. I'd love for you to come join us and chat sometime.
All right. I actually tell my story quite often. I do a lot of service work, and because I have what I hear, people would like to hear my story, and I usually get a lot of feedback, and it's very positive that way.
That is cool. I'm excited. I'm glad you took the moment to talk to me, even though you weren't going to get a sale out of this one. But
oh no, it's okay. I make salary. I don't work. That's what it is. That's just my mama. Okay, where was it again? I'm sorry.
The channel's called Recovery Addict. My name is Scott. I've got, I think we actually just passed 54,000 subscribers this week, but we've got, like right now, live, we've got over 1,000 people listening right now that are just saying great things in chat about you. Welcome aboard. Hey, Stacy. Stacy
Recovery
nice.
Addict. What was it?
It's just Recovery Addict on YouTube. So you go to YouTube, search Recovery Addict, and then hit the subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell, and you can join us. We do this live every day from my home. You nailed it. I sit at home in my house.
You're not alone, Roderick. You're not alone?
That's not me.
I'm trying to find out exactly what you Recovery Addict.
Recovery Addict on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube,
you know how many
and
recovery?
then
I'm there.
search.
You know how many? Okay, I will find you, Scott, and it was a pleasure speaking to you.
Stacy, have a great
My
day.
name was Stacy. Yes, sir. You too. Stay blessed.
All right, bye.
Yes, sir. Bye bye.
She's a recovering addict. I couldn't go down that path. I had. Oh man, Stacy, I hope you find us here on the channel. It's going to be great. Let's see, where were we? We were back here with Judge Boyd. So,
Okay.
you know, the work I go to get new subscribers, it's not easy. It's not easy. So I get some of the best calls. They all think my name is Dwayne. I'm so glad she didn't hang up on me though. Let's see, where's our judge is just chilling online.
Much like the notorious bloody heart serial killers.
Okay.
It's a very different way to get subs.
Defense attorney Robert Ayden is still traumatized. He's still traumatized father because his own son fell prey to the VHP. So amidst of Thompson's conditions, he steps in to present him. Now Robert wants Gwen to interview the accused, create a site profile of the killer and his victim.
Okay.
To clear his client's name.
All right. I'm for that book.
Judge is choosing a new book for a book club. I don't know what happened to our docket this afternoon, but apparently there's no work on the schedule. Yeah, what would I have done in 2021? I can tell you. There is one time I went to a timeshare presentation, and I walked out before they got my information at the end. So I know I have never signed up for anything. I have never done the Amway presentation. I've never signed up for a timeshare. I've never had a timeshare. I've never signed up for vacation packages. I never, ever, ever, never have I ever done any of those things. But she seemed adamant that let's see.
4 chapters on the girl studying early work, 1 chapter on spaghetti cooking. No,
she seemed adamant that I had, even though my name was supposedly Dwayne.
Okay, so I'm going to ask after you finish reading the inmate to borrow your book because they do not have it available in paperback anymore. And you know my Kindle is in storage.
Ooh, get the Kindle out of storage.
like the Kindle. It's not the same.
My brothers got it for me because I would travel a lot. And instead of bringing a book, they would have me put that on there.
Julie, I have not gone over the Murdaugh motions. I know there's a lot more stuff in there, and it's looking more and more, in my opinion, like there's going to be a new trial. I didn't catch your comment. Let me let's see. Folks come for Recovery Addict, but they stay for Stacy. I was going to make a comment about her mom, but I'm not sure how many of you guys would remember that song. Recovery Addict. Less than Stacy. Thal, it's good to have you here. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Happy New Year to you. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Let's see. Stacy was a telemarketer. Yes. From this travel agency. It's a company. It's a legitimate sales pitch, but they call you, and everybody they call has $1,500 worth of travel credits. And you must have signed up for it somewhere, and suddenly, before we delete them, we're going to give you this chance to use them. You just have to pay the storage fee, the holding fee, and you end up getting travel credits for something that's sort of overcharged. It's more expensive than it should be, and yes, you can actually book vacation that way, but it would be cheaper to do it normally. So it's just a little scam that somehow I fell into. My phone number fell into. I'm looking for where Amber's comment was. and she's trying to. There it is. Stacy's mom have it going on. Yeah, that's it. Don't take my wrench. I wouldn't. That's a good. Well, I wouldn't say it's a good song. Once you hear the lyrics, it's all about Stacy and a friend of Stacy, who I believe is roughly the same age as Stacy, but the friend of Stacy is actually romantically involved with Stacy's mom, possibly. So yeah, it's not a good song at all, come to think of it. But it's a catchy tune. Okay, let me just see. Kurt sent me a message. Let me respond to this really quickly. Ooh, 7 p.m. Okay, let me look at that. I love Scott explaining the premise of Stacy's mom. I could sing it to you word for word, but that probably won't be good either. Julie says, I'm dying to hear the new Murdaugh motions. I think, let's see, who covered those very well? Was it Peter Tragos that covered those Murdaugh motions? And I think he's covered that. And much better than I could. I have not been following this ever since the conviction. We were with Murdaugh day in, day out of that trial, and that was a lot. And so once the conviction came through, we sort of stepped back from that one. So I have not been following all the developments after the fact, but it's good. Fountains of Wayne, is that who sings it? All right. I'm all over Murdaugh, says Fair Chair. If it goes to trial again, I would be interested in following it because we've got a couple things. We have some amazing power players in the attorneys, and I love a court case where we have good litigation, good attorney work going back and forth. Next level chess, good battles happening in the courtroom. I love that, and that has that in spades. It also has some amazing witnesses that have been incredibly impactful and powerful and confrontational even. That whole case is something I would sit through again, but I would ask them, please, 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 do not, and I don't think they have to, do not try all the financial stuff at the same time as the other case if he does get a redo on the murder conviction. Let's see. Judge Boyd just shut off her feed. I think she's now talking about the deeper inner workings of football. So let's see if there's anybody else. It's a quiet day in courts right now, guys. Okay. Burnett Circuit Court, Branch 1. Uh-oh. Hey, Amber, how's it going? Don't play the song. Don't play the song.
I'm not, I promise. I figured I'd help you fill the dead space and call and laugh because that was super funny.
I was gonna go down the road of saying, like I started, that I had committed a bunch of crimes and I needed, travel to get to court. But she called me on it. She called my bluff right away. And then when I said my name was Recovery Addict, she's like, "Oh, I'm a recovering addict," and I knew right then I had to stop. I've got respect there. Yeah. I had to stop, and so the prank call ended at that time, and we just moved on. But
it did, but I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. I'm still waiting to see a new chatter come into the chat.
Stacy, the telemarketer. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I keep waiting to see it.
So travel agent, maybe.
She's got to be subbed for at least 5 minutes, so she has to hit the subscribe button. So I mean, hey,
could happen. Could happen.
Whatever we got to do to get subs, right?
It's fun. Court.
I do have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Real quick. Might we have a new emoji coming soon?
I built it, and at 48 pixels by 48 pixels, you can't even see what it is.
Seriously?
Seriously. I tried, and we're talking about the Amber took a screenshot of me making a toilet paper mitten, and she wants to make that an emoji. But there's so much detail there that it just looks like a little blob and discoloration. You can't even make out a head. You can't see my head. There's just a white blob and microphone in front. It's not very good, unfortunately. The picture was brilliant. I mean, I can show people what the picture looks like. It's obviously the resolution is less to be desired for an HD live stream, but.
Well, how about this? I'll send it to you in a better. I won't shrink it down for you before I send it to you because I shrunk it down to the 480 by 480. Yeah.
I don't know if I talk about it more, people are going to want to report, and I could give a report, but I'm not going to. So that's.
Give a report on what?
On testing. On testing the. How well it cleans up spills on the counter. Is that what we're talking about, right? That it's like the Bounty, the quicker picker upper, but you wrap it around your hands and clean up in the kitchen. Amber, thank you very much.
By the looks of chat, I think you should show them the two options that you got.
Let me see what Ivan has to say first. Thank you, Amber. We'll catch you later. Bye.
All right, I'm hanging up now.
All right, bye.
Call from
Mr. Ivan.
Ivan. Oh. Let's see. I tried, Ivan. I was right there. I just missed your call. Okay. Have you ever had to decide to change the channel name so people don't associate your channel with addiction? People for real. Initially, I've thought about that, but because I have my own story of addiction and our support for people who are in recovery, I decided not to. But yeah, it is. Hey, Ivan, how are you doing? I just brought you in mid sentence.
Go ahead, keep doing what you're doing.
I was just telling P. Will for real that initially I was surprised. A lot of people found my channel saying, "Hey, I was looking for like AA type content." And what is this? But we found that there are a lot of people. Yeah, Ivan, it's funny that you're on the phone as we're talking about AA, right? Ivan runs a liquor store. And
yes, post you on a daily basis on the big screen.
Yes. And he plays on the big screen in the liquor store, our channel. The Recovery Addict channel plays in a liquor store in Wisconsin, which is just funny. Ivan, how are you doing?
Well, let me tell you something. I hear Judge Boyd talking football. I hear Stacy's mom going on. I hear Cougars being represented. I hear was this chat tailor made? Like, did somebody literally tailor make this afternoon for me? Like, what do we got going on here?
We need that. We need the audio clip from yesterday, where Judge Boyd literally said it's okay to be a Cougar.
Oh,
that's a Judge Boyd quote. Hey,
I have been to many adult ballets that have been employing Cougars for years on end.
Ivan, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. This is a family show.
Anyway, okay. Well, and so I just first of all, how great is Judge Boyd? Just talking. Was there somebody coming up to court? When she was talking football, how did that all go?
Well, she's back in court right here.
Good afternoon.
So we've got. Oh man. This guy looks great. He's got the lined flannel going on.
And what's up with juror number one? Everybody keeps telling me this guy could be my bookie. I think I.
Wait, let me hang up with you. We're going to join Judge Boyd in this case, but we'll get back. She's back to business now. Football talk's over. Thanks, Ivan. We'll see you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Anything on this, but I'm assuming it's uploaded. I don't think it's an exceedingly complex case. I have no reason to believe that reports and videos aren't uploaded to Veripick or eDiscovery.
All right, so when would you like this recalled?
Month.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Kruger, please?
Kruger gets a 30-day reset.
All right, let me see.
He's got flannel on flannel, it looks like. Layered
All right,
flannels.
so February 6th, is that good for you, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, that should work. Get you 1 month.
All right, February 6th.
Don't even need to get you a card and everything, okay?
And Ms. Ferguson, if you'll make sure Mr. LaHood is on this. All right. right, thank you. All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you for addressing
Once you sign the reset
appropriately
form,
for
you're
court.
excused.
Yeah, thank you. Have a seat. I'll be with you in about 2 minutes.
It must be cold down there.
All right, and is there anyone else, Mr. LaHood?
We're still working to see if we can get this NPR thing resolved.
Okay.
And then the new ag kidnapping or the kidnapping, they have the file we're looking at right now.
All right, thank you.
This is a recent. Thank you.
New kidnapping? What? Yes, for those that aren't aware, Mrs. R.A. has left me for the week. And by week, I mean like 6 days. She's gone to take my oldest son back to school and has taken one of my children.
Norma, Nathan
with-
Slamane's client, Justin Montemayor, it's been reset for the 8th.
So I'm sans Mrs. R.A.
They believe they're going to work it out on the 8th. So you can put it down for disposition. On Ruben Flores, he was calling into the court and they were supposed to transfer the call here, but they did not. And then Carly Green, that's been reset for February 29th.
I do have an adult son who's here as well. He's helping with
Yes.
the 3 remaining kids doing.
That's a plea deadline date.
Because we homeschool, so we have a lot of projects this week. Science project, courtesy of a very generous gifter. Thank you very much, Tish. That was awesome.
And then Glenn Payne, client Richard Sosa. Adam LaHood is on that case. Glenn Payne is not on the habitual list.
Thomas. It's funny because after the live stream, generally, my wife and Thomas talk about the show, and I generally fall asleep mid-conversation. It's funny. I don't know. Maybe she'll connect from the other side of the country. Nosy Rosie, I've never found it at Sam's Club. I wish they had it there. I've found it at Walmart, and it's on Amazon. It's very expensive at Walmart and Amazon. If you can find it in like Associated Food stores, if you're out west, some of the like the Kroger's will have that. Smith's, Food Lion, some Piggly Wigglies, but they usually carry it in smaller packages than the big, 4 pounds bucket. Get it on Amazon, Eddie. Thank you. That's awesome. It's the best hot chocolate ever. We had Stacy Manning pop in chat. Was it her? Stacy Manning, are you our friend from the travel agency? If so, welcome. Jordan says, can you remind me the name of the homeschool channel, please? I'm homeschooling too, but my oldest is in pre-K. Need all the tips I can get. Jordan, my wife does a homeschooling channel, and if you type Mrs. R.A. in chat, or just Mrs. MRS, right there. There you go. Amber did it for you. It will respond here in just a second with a link, and there it is. That's Homeschool Ground Zero. That is her YouTube channel where she shares all the tips and tricks she's learned regarding homeschooling. Eddie, I can give you a link if you want it, but I have a hard time giving out the link for the hot chocolate on Amazon because it is so expensive, and it costs so much more to get it through Amazon than if you could find it at a local store. So if you're like already decided that you are going to buy it on Amazon, I can give you a link that would actually help me a little bit. Let me get that for you. But I wouldn't go out and buy this if you have an option to get it locally because it will be cheaper. Okay, just one second.
Yes. What's that? Yeah, but it's. Yeah. Comments. Yeah. This one. Not more surprised. Yeah.
Okay. Got the link for you. Just one second. My computer's going incredibly slowly, like it's about to die.
Yes. I'm just saying. And that's probably better than yes.
All this just to get to my live stream. It's going so slowly. Just one second. There we go. We're hoping for a little more action here out of Judge Boyd's courtroom before we wrap up for the day. So give us just a minute. Some guy named Dwayne made a number and it's yours. This is the truth.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. There's the link. That is an Amazon affiliate link if you want to use it and order it that way. I would recommend that you try to find it locally cheaper. But if you are, you've already decided you're going to pay the money to get it ordered, I would only buy that also if you have Amazon Prime, because paying for shipping on top of that makes it even worse. But Jamie C., that is not even nice. I will tell you, we have a burner phone, and so far no one has abused it in that manner. But it is a burner phone, so I can get rid of it and set up a new number in a heartbeat. So if I do get signed up for something like that, first of all, I will taunt them mercilessly, and if it becomes a problem, then I'll just change the number. Which flavor? I'd like just the milk chocolate, but they have so many different flavors. It's good. Ivan says I'm going to make a $5 contribution to Alex Jones in RA's name. Ivan, we're no longer friends. I'm just saying. They have dark chocolate. They have mint chocolate. They have truffle. They have candy cane. They have pumpkin spice. You name it. Their flavors. Any type of flavor you want as far as hot cocoa goes, Stevens has it. Okay. A lot of people in court for nothing happening.
Martin Guerra is saying he did not know he had a client on the docket today.
Ooh. Lawyer didn't show.
He told me he did. Andrade, Martin Guerra. Oh, I'm sorry. Deputy Laura told me.
Because I know Martin Guerra's case is getting transferred.
My understanding there are two Andrades on the docket today. Yeah, there are two Andrades on the docket today, Norman. All right, and then the other one is Gara.
If somebody can send that one to me, Deborah, I have not been following the
Okay.
the docket on that. If you've got it, I'd love to have it on the burner phone.
So that one should never
Can you buy in bulk? And can you buy like a 5-gallon bucket at a time?
All right, and then if you want to get in touch with Ruben Flores, he was supposed to be calling in.
I was having a list of
You can buy it straight from them. S'mores, salted caramel, English toffee, peanut butter cup, milk chocolate. It's only $20 if you buy it straight from them, but it might come with shipping. Let's see what the shipping is.
No, it'll have to be on Monday. Okay. All right, can you let Andrade know? We'll bring him back on Monday.
You have something recorded on?
See, they want to charge $30 shipping if you buy it straight from them. That's no bueno. Amazon's cheaper than
Somebody does.
buying it from Indulgent Foods directly.
But
But the chocolate mint truffle.
All right, have a good one.
All right, here's what we're going to do. It's 4:30. The judge it looks like she's checked out for the day. Nothing left on the docket. She's just waiting for things to turn up, which are not happening. We're going to wrap up here, and I'm probably going to check in with 7856. Is it legal for me to like smuggle that across the border? Because that would be a good business, smuggling hot chocolate into Canada. If it's illegal, I'm asking for a friend. But I would never want to do that, anything illegal myself. Sandy, thank you very much. Says, I talked to Judge Boyd the other day and told her how much you enjoy watching her court. She said that made her day.
Because Anna's
she
not
streams her
gonna
court
be
so
here.
constituents can see what she does
In the
come
afternoon.
election time. I love it. I love it. I love the transparency. Ivan. Lay low, Ivan. Lay low.
Soulfish mentality.
Calling it smuggling would not be a good way to start. Importing. Did I say smuggling? I pronounced importing wrong. My apologies. Oh, I could do, yes. Kimby, this is a great idea. Stevens Hot Cocoa in, Runkle's Hot Sauce out. That way it's a moneymaker both directions. Cadbury's hot chocolate is fire, says Hey Joe. All right, we're gonna wrap things up here. We've had a little bit of silliness, and honestly, it's probably because I'm too tired. I promise not to delete the stream, although I probably should. We've gone all sorts of places we shouldn't have. But to Judge Boyd, thank you. See you. It was nice checking in with you. Appreciate that. All right. It sounds like a plan. We're going to check out tonight. Kurt on Uncivil Law has an interview with juror number 1 and his wife. and I might be submitting some questions to him. I'm not sure if I'll be able to pop on because that's an hour before our live stream. Tonight we have the live stream at 8 o'clock on the podcast, so I probably won't be able to be there on the show as a guest, but I'll see if I can get some questions over to him. If you have a question that you'd like me to submit as if it were my own, because I'll take full credit for the good ones, go ahead and send them to the burner phone and I'll get them over to Kurt. That would be awesome. I think he'd appreciate that. And I'll poke my nose in, just like the camel, the J-Hatch camel at Kurt's live streaming, either way. All right. He has his own hot sauce, but he can't sell to the U.S. Well, he can sell it to me in Canada, and then I can bring it to the U.S., right? That's just for personal consumption? Maybe? Well, it's still sealed in the package, ready for resale. All right, thank you, everybody. It's been a fun day. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again. It will be tonight at 8 p.m. It will be the Not Relevant podcast right here on this channel. If you want to see something that's even crazier than what we had today on the live stream, join us for the podcast. My good friend Thomas, who is Weather Watch and Chat, a good moderator, great friend, will be with me live, and we'll be having some fun and talking about things that are not relevant. It's a live show. Please join. It will be a blast. We'll see you. You guys be good to each other. See you tomorrow or tonight. Bye.
Is that correct?